All right, guys, Ben Graham here again, your local trusted real estate agent, bringing you the last video in our series on buying your first rental property, your first, income producing property. Maybe not your first, or it could be your first, who knows? But bottom line, buying rental real estate. We've talked about, the why, the income deductions, appreciations, equity, leverage, that kind of thing. The who, who's on your real estate team, from mortgage brokers, realtors, vendors, tradesmen, contractors, lawyers, attorneys, that kind of thing. We've talked about the where, local, out of state, the what, single family condo, already fixed up or needing to be fixed up, that kind of thing. We've talked about, the how, as far as searching for properties, running the numbers, inspecting the property, that kind of thing, transferring it to an LLC, setting up your TPT taxes, preparing it for the market with doing all the fixes, doing the cleaning, that kind of thing. So what we're going to talk about now is actually getting it on the market and managing it. So assuming we've done all that before or already, the next thing is to market the property, and one thing I do want to touch on, and I said this was going to be last video, but I'm going to do a special bonus video talking about running the numbers and using my numbers analyzer that I'd be happy to share with you, and we'll screen share and we'll walk through that and do some examples, that type of thing. So that being said, is right before we go on the market, you go on the market for rent. We want to rerun those rental numbers to know, has the rent rate changed from 1900 to 1950 or to 2000, or has the market softened, now it's at 1850 or whatever it may be. And again, that number is something that is a moving target and will be, the lower you go, the more applicants you might go, the higher you go, the less applicants, and it's a time versus money thing. The higher you go, it's costing you money every day to hold that property. But also you don't want to give it away because that eats into your profits, or you don't want to, be so rushed that you get a bad renter in there. So there's a lot of dynamics to figure out there. But we'll try to get you a good comp, good pricing for that property. And then I'll get you set up with a real estate photographer. And then you need to, just to be clear, I don't manage properties. I can help you guys set up if you want to self-manage or refer you to a property manager. So this is kind of geared more towards if you're doing it yourself, if you've got one property or a couple properties, and you're, local to wherever you're buying the rental. But again, if you want a property manager, I can set you up. So again, run the analysis, pricing, get photography set up, write the descriptions. And then, what you can do for showings is up to you. You can have people contact you. Hey, I want to see it at 3 o'clock, meet them over there. Or you can just say, in a hot market, say like, hey, I'll be there on Saturday from, noon to 3. If you're interested, stop by then. Or, once they fill out an application, then you'll show them the property, make them jump through a hoop before you jump through the hoop, that type of thing. And then as far as the lease goes, again, I can share, just a standard lease with you and the nuances in there. I can give you some advice. Again, I'm not an attorney, but you can get that filled out, and then screen the renters. One neat thing I use, I'll be honest, as a real estate agent, I actually use Zillow to screen my renters. They do a really slick job of running background checks, criminal checks, credit checks, that type of thing. The renters on their pool on the Zillow portal, they apply essentially once, pay once, and then they can apply to a bunch of different properties. So it's a neat system, and it works out pretty well. And then from there, it's always nice to, meet the people in person so that they look good on paper. They make 2.5, 3 times income than the rent is. They don't have, any crazy felonies or anything like that, red flags. I mean, it is science, but it's also a gut feeling too. And we can get into the nuances of that later. So assuming you find somebody, and get the lease put together, get it signed. And again, you can even have it signed electronically through Zillow for that matter. Prep the move-in form, hey, this was broken, that kind of thing before they moved in, that kind of thing. Give them the keys, And then again, through Zillow, and I don't get paid to plug Zillow, trust me. Zillow is a 800-pound gorilla that historically hasn't been super friendly to agents. So this is kind of the non-agent talking to you, if you will, if you can allow me to do that. But they also have a way to pay through their system through ACH transfers and auto pay, which is pretty slick. And again, it's still what I use today, because it's free. So why not? So anyhow, or you can again hire a professional property manager. So all that being said is I am here for you. Hopefully that helped. All these videos was to kind of give you a 30,000-foot overview of buying a rental property. Each one of these bullet points that I've talked about can go into a much longer conversation and should go into a much longer conversation, but hopefully this at least gave you again an overview and a desire to buy rental real estate and break down the fact that you actually can. I'll be there also with you for you to help guide you through this process. So if you have any questions, please reach out and look for the next video breaking down the numbers. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.